Hi, people of the Philippines and people of the world. Hit the button below. And you will be subscribing to the Boy Abunda Talk channel on YouTube. Let's keep talking.
Ako si Darna.
Mars Ravelos Darna.
I'm so happy to be here.
I am happy to be here. Can we do this? Hello! I'm touching you. It's not just a Zoom call or a video call. We're in front of each other. We're with people around us.
We're going to talk about Darna and your journey because it was a long, long journey. You were still with Channel 7 until you went to ABS, CBN. My question is this, was there a point in that journey when you told yourself, I'm done with this. This is not gonna happen?
Okay, to be specific, it was an 18-year journey. It's been 18 years since I was first approached, sat down, 2004 to, sat down and told, we want you to play Darna. Without it being a dream of mine growing up.
Kasi ang Darna sa isipan mo ay
Picture perfect. Svelte, beyond Barbie pa to kasi nakatupis. Perfect ka dapat. So I did 2 surgeries to fix the body. And it wasn't
what do you mean
enough.
surgeries to fix the body?
Because I had lost 100 pounds and loose skin, everything. I had a tummy tuck and a thigh lift. It was one after the other. At the time, syempre, masakit kasi literal na masakit yung surgeries. Literal na, wow, I even had to audition for it again, knowing na I was in full leotards, like wearing a bodysuit. Parang, really, I don't want to do this. I'm so over it. And then I landed amihan. So parang it was totally forgotten na. Like, oh, it was never for me. And you know what? Angel Oxin at that time was perfect for the role. It was meant for her. And I say this because I want to make sure that the message that comes across is I never, even at that time na parang akin dapat yun. No. As soon as these things happened, I knew na it was not for me. So I let go. 'Di ba? Pero syempre, the feeling of I did the surgeries for a role, that kind of stays with you. The regret, why was I so impulsive in deciding to do this just for a specific project na hindi naman natuloy. I had to deal with that. I had to grapple with that for years. And that's why, you know, Tito Boy, I was telling you earlier, I was watching that interview we had. I didn't even realize yung bit-bit ko. For me to cry like that, it was cathartic for sure. It was a release of all those years of carrying that. Na, wow, ang sakit pa pala. And that was what? 2014 na, di ba? Parang 10 years later. So,
But you had not dealt with it yet.
I was dealing with it, but not talagang todo pa. And then, you know, I went on a whole body love, self-love journey. And from where I am now, ibang-iba na, even that 2014 version of myself. And it's really time, you know, I guess it really heals, you process things, and you understand things more. Plus, of course, in 2017, this came to me without me even manifesting it.
I just wanted to add a line, and somehow you win over the pain.
You definitely do.
Take me to that moment when you were told that this was going to happen.
January,
Talaga?
we were doing A Love to Last, and Noel Ferrer, my manager, goes, kapatid, may meeting tayo with Miss Malu Santos. Of course, she was the head of Star Cinema at that time. Sabi ko, bakit? For Darna daw. So she sat me down and told me, and Noel and I are looking at each other like, seriously? And I told them straight away, you do know I probably can't or won't wear that 2-piece. And they go, yeah, different ang ano niya. Completely different ang costume niya. So I go, okay, game. So 2017, and so much has happened, everybody knows. And
You were being offered what?
Leonor, original Darna from Marte, na magiging nanay ni Narda.
Narda, ikaw ang susunod na protektor ng bato.
I would want to go into the preparation. I want to go into the training. So as in physical training.
Yeah, you know, Jane and I trained for 3 weeks. We were in a training bubble, just the two of us, and the stunt people.
Wow.
Yeah.
What were you doing in the training?
Oh, everything possible.
Fight scenes?
Fight scenes, training for the rigging. And if not, I would be doing weights because, you know, I'm like, I'm here, I'm preparing for this role, I'm gonna give it my best. And then I had to learn these kicks na, you know, before when we did fight scenes, parang, oh, side kick, back kick. This time, he was making me do a spinning axe kick. Takot ako, ang dami kong fears dito, boy. Hindi nga ako nagbibisikleta nung bata ako. So a lot of this is really overcoming my fears. Jane is more fearless. Handa yung batang yun, no? Malakas ang loob nun. So when I was doing this, parang, a lot of it was really proving to myself that I can do it, especially at this age. Yung parang, girl, kaya mo to.
I'm sure it was a preparation for the role, pero ang dami mo rin siguro natutunan as a woman in terms of self-defense.
As a human. And that prompts you to believe, oh, I am a superhero.
Wow.
Because you're unleashing your own, your very own superhero, which I believe everybody has inside. All of us.
Let's talk about it. Each one of us has a hero within us because that's what Darna, I think, is all about.
It is. And that's what I discovered and I realized as I was preparing for this role and as I was doing this. And as a more mature person with the wisdom that we've gained through life experiences, knowing that life isn't perfect, we are not perfect. But to embrace your light, your shadows, and really believing that despite the odds, actually because of these odds, I am going to be triumphant. So because of the trials, you have the triumph and you become that hero.
Yung abilidad mo sa pakikipaglaban, maaaring hindi panda. Pero ito, nasa tamang lugar.
I think bawat isa sa atin talaga may kakaibang tapang, pero kailangan lumabas yun. Depende kung paano mo tinatanggap ang lahat ng ito. Kasi pwede kang malusaw, pwede kang tumiklop doon sa lahat ng pressures that are translated into expectations. You are expected to be this. And if you do less than what you're expected to do,
You're not worthy.
you know, the words, I'm not worthy, I'm not enough, etc. So, you need people sometimes. And my question
All
is,
the time.
yeah, you need people to tell you, hey, you are enough, you are okay. You know, that's okay. Fall again, and then rise.
Get up again.
Di ba? Sa buhay mo, sino yun?
Napakarami, Tito Boy.
Marami.
To be honest, I said this during a Darna interview. Kasi it's about you embracing your own hero. But you will not become that if there are no people around you supporting you through the way. And that's how I felt. Like, I'll talk about the Darna journey first. The JRB team, all the people that I mentioned, Darvin, Michael, the stunt team, my stunt double nine, si Kinley, si Tito Levy, all the people that helped me, Varda who did the makeup, our producers, everybody, Direk Chito.
So ito yung mga taong sumuporta sa'yo. In times of doubt, kasi, you know, Iza, in some of my experiences and even readings, when good things are about to happen, that's when the devil attacks. And that's when you need, you know...
Your light.
Yun.
Of course, my biggest source of light is God.
Of course.
And I am so lucky that kahit mahirap akong kasama sa buhay, God really gave me an amazing partner. Ben has been very solid. He has really helped me believe in the hero within.
Ito yung mga taong, you know, who provide you light.
Yeah.
Kasi Maya Angelou says it, nobody does it alone.
Never.
Yeah.
And you have to be humble enough to identify that. And you know what keeps you grounded? Gratitude. In my opinion. Because if you don't identify what you're grateful for, then you'll think it's all my doing.
Can I tell you something? Yabang, na madali makuha dito sa ating industriya.
Oh, yeah.
We are in the business of fame. Ang yabang cannot survive gratitude. Because when you're grateful, you humble yourself.
100%.
Diba? And then it is only in humility when that hero comes out.
Amen.
And that's essentially Darna.
That's it.
Why is Darna still relevant today?
I think Darna's always been relevant.
Will always be.
Will always be relevant because we're all, again, if we go back to what we've been talking about, we're all grappling with our shadows.
Yeah.
We're all trying to find that hero within. And a lot of times...
And we will find that.
And we will. And oftentimes, we look towards other people.
Yes.
And that's great, you know, to have people to look up to. We aspire to be somebody. But it is, I think, our job as a human being, as we evolve, to really identify and believe in the hero within.
At ang bato ay nasa puso ng bawat tao.
Na bawat tao. Darna! Yun.
Darna!
Dito ka na lang binigay.
Iwanan muna natin sandali si Darna.
Thank you.
You're turning 40.
I am! And it's my 20th year in the business.
In the business.
Yes.
Okay. You know, in an interview, you spoke about self-love. You're turning 40. How does that become even more relevant to you now?
You know, Tito Boy, when I started this journey, because I'm part of a women empowerment group with Bianca Gonzalez.
Wow.
Called She Talks Asia.
Yes.
There's 5 of us, Sarah Meyer, Vicky Herrera, Lynn Binugo, Bianca Gonzalez, and myself. So we did a body love conference in 2018, and I thought, it's a body issue thing. But then I realized shortly after, well, my body issues are actually a mental health issue. Because it's all in the mind. A lot of it is in the mind. Of course, it's physical. But if you don't have a healthy mind and a healthy perception of yourself, it stems from a lack of self-love and self-worth. You know, I'm learning so much that it's beyond the physical. I'm having to go back to my youth, to everything, the identifying patterns. So I really want to get deeper into this, and hopefully, you know, I get into it more to understand myself more, to make myself better, and hopefully people around me as well.
It's a journey.
It is. And
It's a journey.
So what I've learned is to become more compassionate towards myself and others. And of course, from there, I can love myself more
And then,
and love others more. Simple as that.
Aling Oprah always says that. Fill that cup until it runneth over. Para yung makapamigay ka ng pagmamahal. And it's also discussion about unconditional love. And I say this in a lot of my talks. Unconditional love, which is sometimes called radical love. Unconditional love is loving someone without expecting anything in return, but it does not give you permission to hurt any other parties. I was listening to an interview of Lady Gaga. Doon ko una napakinggan ng mahabaan at naintindihan ko yung konsepto ng radical love. Because sometimes radical love and unconditional love are used interchangeably. Because radical love is actually self-love. May konsepto kasi ang radical love na pwedeng, you know, I love you radically. Na parang ang hirap-hirap mong mahalin pero mamahalin kita. That's problematic, you know. But when you say, I will love myself in spite of the darkness, that's different. Because you're able to deal with it. So, if you're able to say that, you love yourself unconditionally. And I promise not to inflict pain on myself. Diba?
Ang hirap because,
Hirap.
you know, again, it's a trauma response, and unconsciously, there is a part of us, without knowing it, you self-sabotage.
Yeah.
And I think what's nice about being aware is that you catch it quicker and you're able to process things
Tama.
quicker. It's just that. It's because life happens. You're human.
Right.
And, you know, I asked my therapist, am I such a bad person? Not in, like, alam mo, in my dramatic way.
No, but being aware also humbles you.
Yes, but he
Diba?
goes, no, you're human. But then, of course, I have to consciously say, yes, okay, but I can't keep using this human card as an excuse.
Tama.
I have to keep working on the discipline and everything because I have to be better.
The human card can only be used because you want another chance. And always another chance. Until you get there. I wanted to raise this. You know, one time, I don't know if you posted or you wrote about this, that you attended the party of Atticus.
There, yeah. He's
Right.
my good friend. All my long-term relationships, actually, most of the guys that I really had a relationship with, they're all my friends.
I wanted to call you when you posted it because it's something that we should talk about.
Oh,
Dahil may stereotype eh. There's a stereotype which I'd like to break na hindi lahat ng ex ay kaaway.
Not at all. My take on it is this, Tito Boy. They became like family to me.
You're right.
Them and their family. So, how can I unlove you when I loved you that deeply? I may have hurt you, you may have hurt me. Napatawad mo ko, salamat. Papatawarin din kita. Alam mo yun, that's just how I am. For me kasi forgiveness is so important because it is a gift that you think you're giving that person, but no, it's you giving it to yourself. Pinapalaya mo ang sarili mo at yung isang tao.
Ganda.
Sa bigat na yun, mabigat ha, magdala ng kasalanan o ng pagkakamali o alam mong may nasaktan ka o nasaktan ka ng isang tao, to hold on to that, for me, at some point, you gotta let it go.
The best thing that I heard from you now is that concept about forgiveness, na kahit somebody hurt you, pag hindi ka nagpatawad, may bigat ka pa rin kinakarga eh.
Mas mabigat sa'yo, Tito Boy. Eh, ako ganun.
No, I agree now.
Diba?
I totally agree now. Kasi ikaw ang nagdadala eh.
Ikaw.
Oo, diba? You carry that burden. And then, I loved that message that you wrote for the president today.
For me, we should always give whoever it is, no? Of course, it's President Bongbong Marcos, that opportunity because tinadhana na siya dyan eh. Nilagay na siya ng Panginoon dyan. Now, he has to actually prove to us that he's really our president. And I'm a very hopeful person. And yan kasi it's the only thing that's kept me going through the tough times. And if I don't put my hope, my faith in this government that we have now, how will I live my life, diba? So I have to just put my faith there and see where it goes.
You wrote a letter of gratitude to Daddy, saying thank you to Dad. And when you remember Dad, what comes to
Always-
mind?
Warmth. That's the first thing in my head now.
Warmth.
Warmth. Like, you know, I told you, I'm unpacking a lot of things from life, diba? But I'm so glad that he gave me that love. May have been unstable in a lot of ways in our home before. But one thing was always certain, that this man loved me. It was always there. He may not have been there all the time, but when he was there, he made me feel that love all the time. So when I think of that, I think of love.
What about Mom?
It's a different level of love. That is the love that I've had to understand later on when she was gone. You know, she tried her best to give love, and she did. It's difficult when you're battling with something, and it was hard. She was having a difficult time loving herself. So, you know, I understand both of them more now that I'm at this age and I know so much more, and I wish I could have a conversation with them, and I do. You know, when I talk to them, I pray and I talk to them. I have that conversation, and I always just say thank you, because I know deep in my heart that they were doing their best with what they knew at that time.
Last question. You continue the conversation with Mom and Dad. At this point in your life, do you think they would be asking you about you and Ben, about the baby?
Yeah.
Where is our apo?
On the way. At some point.
You would say that.
Yeah. You know, God's plans are greater than yours. So, I'll just say that. And that I think he really has his divine timing. And when the time comes, I know that he'll give me that baby, and that's also not just God working, but my parents also telling God, sige na, ibigay mo
That's
na.
true.
And also telling me, it's time. Because if it were just me, I don't think I'll make that conscious decision.
Right.
Because I want to work. But I think when you just surrender to God's plans, He'll make everything possible.
What's meant happens. And Mom, Dad, your baby is now Leonor. It's now Darna.
Wow. You know, that's one thing. Okay. When I completed my Darna journey, kasi I had 2 major fight scenes, I cried so hard. Because I said, di man lang to nakita ng tatay ko. Because he was there. But then I knew that he was with me every step of the way. And so was my mom. You know, they're here with me.
They're always there.
They're always like Nana's
Yeah.
always there.
Yeah.
So that's why I always tell my friends, your parents are still alive, your loved ones are there. And that's why I never go to bed with nang galit. Because I don't know if I'll wake up or the person I love will still wake up. I know it sounds morbid.
No.
But it's just because when you lose a parent in a snap of a finger, or any loss, you just know that nothing is certain, nothing is promised, tomorrow is never promised. So I just want to make sure I verbalize that.
And you should. COVID, the pandemic taught us that. Bill Gates said that. The most important lesson we learned during the pandemic is that we all had to deal with our finitude. Simply said, he was saying, we should be better people, we should be more verbal with our feelings of love, of kindness, because you and I know that we are all going to die. So for as long as we're alive, express that love and have peace with the world and with yourself.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tito
Thank
Boy.
you.
Wow.
Hi, people of the Philippines and people of the world. Hit the button below. And you will be subscribing to the Boy Abunda Talk channel on YouTube. Let's keep talking.